Hi everyone, it's Lindy on here from Pink Whisper Designs. Today I'll be showing you a really cute three-dimensional snowflake gift card holder. So if you're looking for a last-minute gift card holder project, this might be the one for you. So let's go ahead and get started. So for paper, I'm using the Strathmore Bristol Smooth 100-pound cardstock, and I've got 6 panels cut to 3.5 inches by 4.25 inches. We're going to be making 3 gift card holders today. Now I'll just lay out my We Are Memory Keeper silicone mat because we're going to be doing some stenciling here. So I've got the Holtz string layering stencil, and I'm going to go ahead and line this up. I'll place this down with a little bit of purple tape just to hold that in place. And then I'm using my Salvage Patina Distress Oxide ink to do my inking here. And I'm just using my foam applicator tool, and I'm going to apply a nice even coating of this entire panel. This stencil is a little bit delicate, so you kind of want to pat and then just like pull it across the stencil. I found that to be a little bit easier. And then you can go back over it a few times if you want to darken up that color a little bit. So once I had that done, I did a second panel the exact same way. So next, let's add a little bit more interest to these panels. I'm using the Distress mica sprays from the Holtz collection, and this one is called Brushed Pewter. Now, rather than spraying this on, I'm just going to unscrew the nozzle. You do want to shake this really well before you use it, and I'm just going to spatter these panels. That will give us a nice sparkly, shimmery effect to each of these panels, and hopefully you can see that there. So I'll set those aside to dry. Let's do our second gift card holder. So I'm using the Shifter Dots layering stencil, and you can see there's little markings on there for lining this up. And I've got a few samples here to show you so that you can get 2 different colors of the dots. And so this is a really fun stencil to use. So you do want to make sure that you line it up nice and straight. I'm just using the grid lines on my mat there to line this up. And again, I'll tape it down with some purple tape. Now for this one, I wanted to use some pigment inks. These are the Dewdrop ink pads. This is a set of 4 that you get. And I love that when you stack them up, you can lay them on their side and they all stay together. So they're really easy to store. I'm using the silver and the gold here. I'm starting off with the gold, and I'm using a foam applicator, a little sponge dauber. But you can also just use the tip of these little ink pads. It's nice and pointy on the tip so you can get right in there. So either way works fine. And I'm going to clean that stencil off really quickly before I switch colors. Now you could emboss this as well because it is a pigment ink, so you could also add some embossing to these little dots. I'm going to just heat set these quickly with my heat tool, and now you can see that those little markings there, I want to put those right over the gold dots that we already created. So those will line up perfectly over the dots that we already have. Then I'll tape this down. Now I can do the alternating colors in the silver. Now this pad was a little bit wetter than the other one, so I'm going to use my little sponge dauber here instead. And I'm blotting off some extra ink. There was a lot of ink here. So I was able to do quite a few dots with that one little application. Now I do want to fill in along the side there, so I will need to shift the stencil over just a little bit. Now that those silver dots are already done, I can go ahead and line it right up over the silver dots we've already created. And then I can go ahead and finish that off. So this is really fun. I love that you can get these 2 different colors. Now I'll do the same thing for the second panel. So now let's do our third gift card holder. And this is the Shifter Stripes layering stencil. And this is the effect that you will get from this shifter one, the Shifter Stripes. So what I want to do, you do want to make sure you're nice and straight here again as well. I'll start off with this spun sugar, and I'm also going to be using the festive berries. I am using my foam applicator tool to do this, and I'm just applying a nice even coating of this on all of these stripes here. I'm just reinforcing that with a little bit more tape. Again, when you're doing the stripes, you kind of want to go in one direction here. Just kind of go down or up. It's a little easier so that the stencil doesn't move around too much. Now I'll clean off that lighter color and I'll heat set that again. And now you can see where the markings are to line up that stripe that we've already done. So I'm going to lay that stencil over those stripes that we've already completed, and that'll leave those open areas for the festive berry color. So again, I'm going to do the same thing with my applicator tool, and that is going to leave a little bit of a white stripe in between the light pink and the festive berry colors. And you'll see that up close here. And isn't that beautiful? I just love that. So I did the same thing for the second panel again, and now I've got some white gesso. You could use some white acrylic paint here, whatever you have. I'm spritzing that with a little bit of water, and then I'll go ahead and spatter these two panels. And again, that's just going to add a little texture and interest here. And then again, I'll go ahead and heat set those quickly. So now I've got all my panels all set to go. So I was searching through my dies to come up with a really fun idea for a gift card holder, and I came across the Stitch Slots dies from Holtz. And I have had this, I'm going to say, for a couple of years now. And it's meant to be for journaling or scrapbook pages, but I thought it would be really fun to use this for a gift card holder. It's got those little slots there, which we could slide our gift card into. So I'm going to go ahead and die cut one of each of the panels using this larger die here. I'm just taping that down with a little bit of purple tape, and I'll go ahead and run all three of these through my die cutting machine. And I'm using my Spellbinders Platinum 6 die cutting machine here. Now for the second panel, we want to create a backing or a little pocket to go with these slots. So the measurements are going to be perfect for this. So what we're going to do is line that up right at the very top of that second panel. So we're lining up this die cut one at the very top of the second panel. I'm tracing this with a pencil all the way around. And then I'm just going to extend the lines on the bottom there, just so I know where my score marks need to be. So I'm just going to go ahead and extend that line right across the bottom. Now I've placed it in my We Are Memory Keepers trim and scoreboard, and I'm going to go ahead and score these lines all the way from the top to the bottom there. And then I'll score this one at the bottom all the way across. So now I can cut that at a little bit of an angle. I'm just going right across there and just snipping off the corners here. And then at the top, I'll cut it on an angle as well. It just makes this little gift card come together a little bit more neatly. So now I'm going to go ahead and fold on those score lines, and I'm going to press out those creases really well with my bone folder. And then I'm going to flip that over and press out those creases one more time. Now this will be the backing of our gift card pocket here that we're creating. You can see that's how those two will line up. So I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing for the other two as well. Now I've got some Gina K Connect glue here, and I'm going to go ahead and attach these together. You could certainly use some tape here as well. And you'll see that fits nicely behind there. So we don't have any of those tabs showing through from underneath. The little tabs are narrow enough so they're hidden behind this pocket. So now you can see we have this cute little pocket, which again, you could use for anything. But our gift card fits in there really nicely. So I assembled the other two. And now to decorate this, I'm using the 3D Impresslits Snowflake. And I love these little Impresslits. I've done a couple other projects with these, and I will list those and link those down below for you. If you enjoy these little Impresslits, you might enjoy those other videos as well. So you can see there that it die cuts and embosses all at the same time. So I'm going to be using a little bit lighter weight paper. I'm using a 65-pound weight paper here because it is fairly detailed and I want to make sure I get a nice cut. So I've got my platform. I've got a couple of pieces of cardboard. I like to run them through this way. You could stack up some cardstock here, whatever works best for you. You just don't want it to be too tight when you're running it through. Want it to be firm, but you don't want to have to force it through. And you can see that you get these beautiful three-dimensional snowflakes. So again, I've got 2 of each of the sizes for each of my gift cards. And I'm using my Gina Connect glue, and I'm going to go ahead and attach these together. And that'll just give me a little bit thicker snowflake here. It'll have a little bit more substance to it. So I'm just applying that glue all over, and then I'll attach these together. And they line up really easily because of that dimension that they have. So it really just kind of pops right into place here. So I'll do that for the smaller one as well. Now I've got all of these ready to go. But I wanted to add a little bit of foiling, and I didn't want to use any heat. I just want some simple foiling here. So I'm going to be using my iCraft Deco foils, and I'm going to show you a really easy way to do this foiling without heat and just with a glue pen. So I've got my silver shattered, my plain silver, and my gold here. Now to attach the foil, I wanted to keep this really simple, so we're going to use the Zig two-way glue pen. This is the fine tip. And what this means is when the glue here is blue, you will just use it as a permanent bond. So you can attach something to that. It's a light blue color and it'll adhere it permanently. But what we're going to do is let it dry until it goes clear. Once it's clear, it's got a tacky texture to it, and it'll be sticky enough to hold that foil on. So let me go ahead and apply the glue, and here I'm just putting it all over the tops, right kind of along the very top, the highest point on these snowflakes. And now you can see that I'm going to let that sit and dry. And now when I touch it, it's tacky to the touch. It's sticky. So what we're going to do now is while it's sticky, I'm going to place my foil down on there, face up, so pretty side up, and I'll just press that with my fingers, just again kind of on the high spots there, and you can see that beautiful foiling that we get. And that's that shattered glass, so you get that little extra sparkle from that as well. And this is a great way to use foils that you've used for other things, because you really just need some little areas of the foil. So don't throw these little pieces away. They can be used over and over again. So now let's go ahead and do the gold. Same thing, the pretty side up, and I've let that glue dry till it was nice and clear and tacky. And now I can go ahead and press that foil on. So this is a really simple, easy way to do your foiling. So let me give you a closer look at the gold foil there, and you can see again how beautiful that is. And I didn't want these to be perfect. I want them to be just kind of a little bit random looking, just to get just an interesting textural effect on here and a little bit of sparkle. So let's go ahead and do the silver the same way. And you could use this on any of your embossing folders. It works really well on the 3D ones because it's really easy to keep your glue right up on the high spots of your embossing. But there again, that's the silver, and I just think these are gorgeous. So now I've got 3 little panels here, and they each measure 3 inches by 1.5 inches. Now another way you can attach your foil is to use some double-sided tape. I'm using the 6x6 Scor-tape, and I'm just going to go ahead and cut some small pieces of this to fit on these card panels. I just wanted to show you a few different ways you could add this foiling without having to have a machine. So these are really easy little tricks. So here I'm using that tape. I've removed the backing and I've placed it down on my cardstock, just trimming away some excess here. And now I'll remove the backing from the front. And now I've got that sticky front there. So I can go ahead and again place the pretty side of the foil on this panel. And then we'll be die cutting these. So again, this size is just an approximate size here. I'm just pressing that out with my We Are Memory Keepers bone folder just to make sure that's adhered really well. And then we're going to match these up with the snowflakes that we created earlier. So I'll go ahead and do the same thing for these other two panels. So I've placed it on my cardstock. I'm removing that backing, and then I'm going to apply the silver foil and now the gold. So this is a great way to get everything to match up perfectly. So you could do a card panel in this as well. Whatever you want to do just to make it coordinate with the project that you're working on. So now I've got this other little die from this die set, and this makes a little label. So we're going to go ahead and die cut these out. And what's really pretty, when you die cut this little label out of the foiled paper, you get a really nice embossed effect all the way around the edges. And let me show you that up close here. You can see that pretty edge that you get here. So I went ahead and die cut all three of those. And now we can go ahead and coordinate our snowflakes with those little labels that we have. So I did coordinate my gift cards with the little gift card holders that I was going to create. So I knew which gift cards I was going to use first, but you don't have to know that. I just happened to have the gift cards all set to go. So now I'm going to attach the larger snowflake, and I'm going to attach it right along one of those center bars there that goes right across the gift card holder. So I'll attach that snowflake, and then I'll just tack it down in a few other areas. I just don't want any glue to get in the way of my gift card sliding in and out of that pocket. And then I'll take this smaller one and I'm going to tuck it down and back there. So again, I'm going to apply a little bit of glue just right across the middle of that snowflake, and then I'll go ahead and attach that. So if you tuck your gift card in the slot first, it's a little easier to determine where you need that glue to be. So here I'm just shifting that around a little bit. Now again, you have multiple openings in these little pockets. So you can go ahead and add other things. You could add a second gift card here or a third, depending on what you want to do. You could also make a cute little coordinating note card, and that would be really cute to slide into one of these pockets. Now I'm just going to sign the back of these and maybe put the date, sign them and put the date on there, because we're going to be adding a little hanger to these, and I think it might make a cute little ornament as well. Now for kids, you could definitely put cash in here. You could add some little stickers or a little candy cane or a lollipop or something in here would be really cute. So again, with all those little openings, you can really have some fun with these. So I went ahead and did that same thing for all three of these. Now I can go ahead and add my little labels. But I did decide that I thought they were a little thin. I did use that 65-pound cardstock, and I probably should have used something a little heavier. So I'm just going to fix that by die cutting a second panel here, and I'll glue those together. And that'll just give a little bit more substance to that. And then for a little bit more added dimension, I'm going to add some Scotch foam mounting tape right across the back of each of these. And that'll pop it up a little bit as well. And then I'll attach those right on the center here. So again, that ties that foiling together nicely. Now the next thing we want to do is add a little sentiment to these. So let's go ahead and grab these label stickers from the Christmas Noel collection. This is the Idea-oloy collection. And I really love these. They remind me of when you use your Dymo machine, which you certainly could do that as well. If you have one, that's another way to go, is just print out your sentiment. You could really personalize it that way by putting someone's name on this. So that would be fun to do. But these stickers are really quick and easy to use. So I'm placing it down on some white cardstock, and I'm just going to trim off the edges. I'm just leaving a little white border all the way around. You certainly don't need to do that. You could just attach that sticker right to your foiled label there. So I'm going to grab a few different sentiments here. Got Holiday Magic, Let It Snow, and Winter Wishes. But now, because these are just snowflakes, you could certainly use these for birthday cards as well. So this would make a cute little birthday gift card holder. So just change out your sentiment, and this can again be used for just about anything. Even Valentine's Day I think would be pretty if you added a little heart. So now I did want to add a little hanger to these because I think they could be little ornaments as well. So I'm going to attach these, but I want to use a really strong adhesive. So I'm using my Ranger Multi-Medium Matte Glue. This is a clear glue. And I'm tucking this tinsel right down in there. Now I will list and link all of these products I'm using today or something similar to it down below. So you can check down below or on my blog as well. So now to add a little sparkle, I'm using my Pinkfresh Studios Essential Jewels Mix. And you know that I love these. They're just so pretty. And I've grabbed some coordinating colors here. And I'll attach a few of these to these little gift card holders. I'm going to place one on the center of each of the snowflakes. And then I'll place a couple just below the sentiment there. So let me show you our finished gift card holders. Again, I think these can be used all throughout the winter season, just changing up your sentiment. And I did want to wish you all a happy holiday season. Enjoy your family and friends, and enjoy some crafty time if you get a chance. So I hope this last minute gift card holder inspired you to make some of your own. And if you enjoyed today's video, please hit the like button and subscribe. And don't forget to hit that notification bell so that you don't miss a single video. Again, thank you so much and have a happy holiday season. Take care. Bye-bye.